I started a brand new reselling business, and in the past 90 days, I've sold over $30,000. And just this month, I sold over 10,000. And behind me, I have over $10,000 in inventory alone. So I am moving money and I'm also making money. My goal is not to go out there, go to Goodwill, and find this random item. No, I want to make guaranteed money. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And by the way, I sell construction tools, I sell DVDs, I even sell like the classic video games, I sell cameras, I sell all sorts of stuff. And guess what? All this stuff makes me real money. I'm not making $10, I'm not making $15. I'm trying to make at least a 20 to 40% profit every single time I buy and sell a product. In this video, I'm gonna give you step by step exactly how I'm doing this and how you can get started. And no, you do not need $10,000 to get started. And stick around to the end of this video because I'm gonna show you step by step how I buy something and do research to make sure I make the most money possible. However, guys, disclaimer, this is what works for me, okay? I can't make you any guarantees. However, whenever I copy someone's successful plan and put it into action the right way, usually I tend to get good results. Let's get started. Now, how much money do you need to actually get started? And in here, I actually have a DJI drone. This right here, I'm gonna sell it for around $2,500. I only bought it for about $1,200. That means I'm going to make a ton of profit off this item. However, you don't need to get started with such a massive budget. The truth is, when I first started this whole thing, I did not have any money. So what I did was I sold things I had lying around that I did not need, like video games, the latest iPhone, or whatever it is. Specifically, I sold a lot of my sneaker collection and that gave me some money, and I highly recommend try to get started with at least $500 because $500 you can easily make like $100 every time you buy something and resell it, buy something, resell it, and you can basically get it up to 1,000 real quick, real fast. Now, if you do have a bag, I highly recommend start off small because if you don't have someone with you teaching you the ropes, you can make a big mistake and lose all your money. Because one thing people don't tell you about the resale business is that sometimes people are just trying to get rid of their garbage and they will lie to you. And by the time you find out, it'll be too late. Now, number two, where the heck do I buy all my stuff? Where do I source? Well, the biggest mistake I made early on was I used to buy things at Goodwill. And when you go to Goodwill, you're literally trying to find a needle in a haystack. It does not work. Every now and then you find something, but the most of the times you find absolutely nothing and you get stuck with a whole bunch of garbage no one wants. I still have some stuff there that we have not been able to sell. So my new system is very simple. I basically source from three main places. Number one is going to be Facebook. I love Facebook because I can just go online, make a bunch of offers, and my rule is very simple. I try to send 10 offers a day. And if you do that, you're at least going to get 1 or 5 offers every single week. That is the average I've seen. And if you're making $100 every single time, well, you're going to make some good money, and sometimes you're going to make great money. The second place I source my items from is going to be pawn shops. People ignore pawn shops all the time because they think these people do not like to negotiate, but the truth is, there is business to be done at pawn shops. Pawn shops, they have a bunch of stuff they paid very little money for it and they cannot sell it. So that's where you come in, that's where I come in basically, and I buy all the stuff that's been sitting there for a long time that I know I can go ahead and sell it on eBay or Facebook or just online because they don't really have that system in place just yet. Until they do, then we'll be out of business, but for right now, it's a great opportunity. In pawn shops, I get a ton of stuff for a big discount. And you know what the best thing is? That pawn shops do not lose money because if an item costs like $100, they'll pay like $25, $35. So even if I pay them $50, $60, they're going to double their money and then I can sell it for $100 and make my money too. Everyone wins. And that's why I love pawn shops. The third place I basically buy from is like eBay and sometimes just from friends and family. eBay is very, very hard to get deals on, honestly, because people are selling there at the market price. Market price basically means like the retail price, what it actually sells for, unless you find a very good deal. Like I bought this iPhone 13 Pro with 1 terabyte storage for a very good deal because everyone thought it was messed up because it wouldn't charge. And all I did was grab the needle, clean the bottom, and then boom, the phone is working and I can sell it for a good amount of profit now. That's the idea. Now, I will say this, sourcing is simple. It comes down to just sending a ton of messages and getting a lot of leads. However, be nice, be kind, and be respectful. If you don't have these qualities, people will not want to do business with you. And always tell people, if you find me a deal, let me know. And I'll give you, for example, a finder's fee. I do repeat business with a lot of people because whenever I'm making money, I want them to make money. And I've been in places where people walk in that do exactly what I do, and everyone there is like, we don't want them there because they're always trying to lowball, they don't do good business, and they have a bad attitude. So always be friendly, always have a good attitude. It works. Now, I think this might be one of the most important parts of this video, and it's how do you know exactly how much to pay for a product so you're able to make a profit and that person is also happy? The answer is you can't always guarantee someone's going to be happy, but you can know exactly what a good fair price is for a product. And the number one quality you have to do this correctly is going to be discipline. If someone tells you, no, I can't do that, then just be willing to walk away. My strategy is very simple. I'm trying to buy value. I make money when I buy, not when I sell. I want to buy a $1 bill for like 50 cents or 60 cents. So I want to pay about that much money of what the item is actually worth. So let's say, for example, here's a real deal I found in the wild a couple days ago. This is a Nintendo Switch OLED, and I paid for the Switch fully complete with the dock, with the cords, all that stuff if you know about it, and also 3 games. I paid about $135. You know how I do the math? The answer is, well, I want to make 20% profit minimum, okay? And I know that if I sell this item on eBay, eBay is going to want to make at least 13% profit. That means off the bat, I need a discount about 33%. Now, don't get scared by the math because guess what? If you want to be good at this, you're going to want to know how to do simple math. It's not that complicated. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it right now. If I know that this product sells for $200, I want to multiply it by, well, I want to minus about 33%. So that way I can make a profit and I can pay the eBay fee. So minus 33%, and that gives me about $134. On top of that, well, guess what? I know that I might have to pay shipping, and shipping might be around like $15. So I know, hey, maybe I want to pay about $119 for this. Now, the reason I paid $135 is because I had games and I had other accessories I could also sell for some more money. That's the idea. But it's that simple. I always want to basically make at least 20%, and I also want to cover the eBay fees, and I also want to cover the shipping. So the way you find out how much to pay is minus the profits, minus the fees, and minus the shipping fee. That is it. And the best part is, sometimes I sell the product on Facebook, so I don't have to worry about the fees or shipping, so I just make extra profit right there. Now, here's a golden rule many people skip. You have to be confident when it comes to your numbers and math. This is very simple math. It's just minusing. So if you don't know how to do that, just go on YouTube and figure it out and you'll be just fine. But when you're making offers to people, try to have a good tone of voice. Be nice, and it's okay if someone says no and they walk away. It's fine. But don't let them walk away with the bitter taste in their mouth where they can talk bad about you because you disrespected them. Again, be nice because people can change their minds and come back to you later. That's happened to me a ton. Now, if you're still here watching this video, I'm gonna give you my best advice, exactly what I wish someone would have sat down with me and told me from the very beginning so I didn't make a whole bunch of mistakes. Number one is, here's why I try to make 20% and not like 50 or 100% returns on my profits. Basically, try to double my money every single time. When you have a lot of money and you're trying to flip it and make more money, to be able to buy stuff where you can actually double your money all the time is very hard. I met this guy, that's what he does, but guess what? He doesn't have $10,000 worth of inventory. While he's trying to buy one item to double his $10, I already bought like 20 or 50 and I already made a bunch of money. So 20% margins are very fair, they're very good, and you can easily double your money like in like 5 transactions. That is the idea. Number two, you want to make sure that as your capital, as your money continues to grow and you go from having 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to $10,000, you don't buy the same items you used to. And here's why. When you have $500, you might be buying like 10 random items for like $100 or whatever. But it takes the same amount of time to list a $100 item as a $1,000 item or a $2,500 item. So the more money I get to put into this business, I try to buy more expensive stuff because it saves me time, it saves me money, and I can also make bigger profits, okay? And there's also less competition when you're buying more expensive stuff. At least that's what I've been noticing for me personally. I met this guy that he has over 2,000 items listed on eBay selling sports cards, and I'm like, that's crazy because you have to ship things every single day to make like $5 or $10, but I can just go ahead and list one item and make like $600 or $1,000 sometimes, right? Or $500. So that's a lot better than having a whole bunch of items. Number three, and here's the biggest mistake I made in this business that if it wasn't for my wife, I would not have fixed. When I used to buy something, I used to try to sell it very quickly. And my wife told me, no, list it for the highest price possible that you actually see that's actually a fair market price. And then you wait. And if it doesn't sell, then you lower the price. Guess what? I have not had to lower the price one bit just yet. So instead of selling this item for, let's say, like $2,200, like some people have sold it, well, I see some people sold this item for $2,500. So I put it for $2,500 and I wait, and I might be able to sell it for that price. So my advice is always list your items for the highest price possible. If they don't sell in 30 days, then lower it by 5% or whatever. And if they don't sell, lower it by another 5%. But that way, you can make a good amount of money and give your item an actual chance to sell for a good amount of profit. Now, here's how I do my research. It is very simple. Now, let's say I actually want to buy this, right? This is a Star Wars Saga DVD set, okay? What I do is I go on the eBay app to find out exactly what it sells for. And I go ahead and I basically take a picture of the item on eBay. And then eBay is going to show me how much this item is selling for. And as you can see, it goes for about $325 brand new and about $275 used. I'm telling you, I don't sell little things anymore because it's just not worth the time. However, though, I don't want to believe this, okay? Because it's just what people are selling it for and not what it's actually sold for. It's different. Someone can sell you something for like $1 million, but if it's never sold before, there's no evidence it's actually going to sell for that price, right? So go over to filter and you basically scroll down to where it says sold items and completed items. So go there and basically click both those items and click where it says search. And boom, it shows me right here, and you also want to put the condition. My condition is used. And here I see they've been selling for $250, $285, $233. So I'm going to say, let's say it sells for about $250, okay? So I go over to my calculator, I type in 250 minus, well, 33%. to cover my profit and eBay's shipping or selling fees, okay? And then boom, I get $167. And then I want to minus the shipping cost, which might be, let's say, like $15 for this item. And I'm at $150. So I know if I buy for 150, I'm going to make a good profit. However, I bought this at a pawn shop and I did not pay 150. I paid $80. So basically, when I sell this thing, I'm going to double, potentially even triple my money. And that's the idea, okay? Whenever you're trying to buy something, don't just pay the minimum to make your 20%. If you can get it for even less, well, try to get it for less. But you know where you can't go beyond. You can't go beyond not making at least 20% because at that point, it's not going to be worth it. Now, before I actually end this video, I have a challenge for you. If you have $500 or $500 worth of stuff listed on eBay, if you want to do this business, and let me know how long it took you to sell everything, and let me know in the comments down below how much money you made and almost how much money you actually want to make per month. Right now, that $10,000 I'm selling every single month, basically, that's making about like $2,000 to $3,000 in profit. And honestly, for me, that's more than enough because the whole reason I'm doing this business is because I don't want to spend my money on stuff. So I just rather make some money to spend it on the stuff I basically need. And instead of having $10,000 in a bank and getting paid like $3 in interest, I'd rather put that money to work myself and be able to double or triple my money very fast, very quickly. I almost forgot to talk about boxes and labels. I don't pay for boxes. I get all my boxes at this random store in my local neighborhood that wants to basically give them away. Like supplement stores and stores like that, they get a whole bunch of boxes and they want to give away. I get it. But there's also another guy, he buys his boxes online for a cheap price. As far as label, I used to do it with my printer, and now I actually do it with a thermal printer that just basically sticks on. If you're going to take it seriously, get that eventually. If not, just get a printer and basically just do your own labels. I buy labels on eBay because they're cheaper, and I also buy labels at Pirate Ship. If you have more questions, well, comment down below and I'll make a part 2 to this video. See you guys next time. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.